I have a few questions. Lately, I've been wrestling with some ideas, and some ideas um, revolve, relate to each other in something I think it's fundamental, a core or I say principle, not principle, but a core uh, question, perhaps, and it's evolving around who is God. I know. I know we take it for granted that the answer to that question is one that should be expressed boldly and courageously or without doubt, and as fully convincing or that leaves no room for doubt that we know the answer to the question of who is God. And I was gonna say I like that. I mean that's great. That's wonderful. I mean to boldly claim or to believe, actually, to give testimony of, and our conversation, our lives agree with the assertion that we believe in God. And I wonder, though, whatever makes what I believe unlike what others believe and unlike what I have believed in the past. And is my belief the only possibility that is true? And that, this is like new territory here. It's probably old to others, as far as, as they've wondered, had these questions, and how they proceeded from there with them. And that's a wonderful too. I like to learn from others, especially when they do this kind of experimental learning that's present and not old. It's like this is a new kind of awakening that has more attraction to me to see and witness in others, and I can at least be joined to them in spirit as we might have fellowship in this regard, or in this aspect. And so yeah, I thought about a part of the Bible, and my mind keeps going back to it. So it must. There's something that I say. There's something there, and not just because my mind keeps going back to it, but I believe in the inspiration, in the direction of the Spirit of God to guide us, whoever God is. I'm still there. Okay. I don't want to leave that spot. Okay. Because I found that I have so much solid, not, I was going to say solid connection there, but it's like that's where the rock is at, the rock upon which I can stand, and I could actually be present in I was going to make something up saying my humility because it sounded good, but not in my humility, but in my conscious awareness, or the part that loves to hover over the question between, I was going to say answers, but not answers, between certainties, and to actually enjoy it, to be in the place to say, and be happy to say, I know not God, and to illustrate that, because to illustrate that, I can use this very call it philosophical, if we want to, or theological adventure in the mind, to be able to question, and this is where I'm going, or this is where I was aiming for from the beginning, to have a question and to expect an answer to that question from a source that has the answer. And that source, I mean, the source that has the answer, who is that? Who is he? And by what, not authority, but by what appeal do I have? Why do I believe in him? Who is he? What's his name? I want to know him. But I'm still left in the dark, or in the shadow, as I still search to find him. And it's like I am hard on his heels. And that's so to speak. I mean, I can, I have a question. Who is he? What's his name? I'm like Jacob wrestling with the angel in the wilderness. And God says, let me go. And I say, I will let you go after you tell me your name. And he's like, why do you ask it? And he knocks his bone out of joint, I call it the hip thigh, but the hip joint, and his life has changed forever after that. Every step he takes, and that makes it worth it to me. I would be willing to do that, to be broken, to have part of what I can, my, the legs right here, are like two, not truths, but logic and reason, experience and hypothetical, the joining together of the two into one person here, being me, and my logic having the stand it has, or it exists, it has being, and where they are joined together, being where I now exist, and that I search for the truth to the unknown. That's the question. There is always this unknown, the unknown God. It's like the cloud of unknowing, which I listened to about a week ago, which was very fascinating. The great cloud of unknowing. And not to piggyback off of that, but there's some very good information in there that is related to this in a lot of ways. Whereas there's that happy oblivion or the happy place to be in the place whereby I can say I know nothing and accept the great unknown. And no, and as long as it is unknown, it is I would say it's God, but then just saying that makes it known. You can't even say it. It's like you can't even say his name. You can't even have the ability to, to comprehend. That's like, that reminds me of the passage in the Bible, in Acts, whereby Paul went to the hill, was it the hill of Mars, and met with the philosophers there who had was it statue or idol to the unknown God. And that's the way it's translated, I think, in the English. I wonder, though, and I had this thought myself a little while ago, never heard anyone else express this question, but I wonder in the Greek if maybe it doesn't say to the unknown God, but to the God of the unknown. Because there is, I think, fundamentally in each and every person that's ever been born, to ask the presence inside of them, the person who's not them. You cannot ask yourself a question. It would be impossible. I say it would be impossible, and that right there probably would get a lot of blowback on that, just to say that. Okay, let's put it this way: if who am I asking when I ask a question, and who's answering? Where does my answer come from? And then, why do I believe him? That he is the truth. And what's his name? Who is he? Do I believe in him like everyone else believes? Are we all alike? Do we all believe in the God of our own understanding? I think fundamentally we do. We all do. Or we would never say a word about what we believe. What we believe has a source, and we have our evidence too. The presentation, the one who has the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, they're unseen. So even me expressing this is an expression of unseen. I was about to say realities, but I don't want to abuse that word. For they are actually ideas, unseen ideas, be they what they are and be they what they seem. They exist insofar of themselves in the world they exist in. So as I share them, I'm bringing forth from an unseen realm things that are invisible to others. If it were not for, maybe let's use the word, a common faith, if that's possible. I'm not quite sure it is possible to have a common faith particular, although it may be thought of as a similar faith or the same type of faith with many similarities. I don't think everyone agrees on all things with any other person in the whole world on all things. There will be some form of disagreement about one thing or another, small or large. But each is convinced in their own mind, and they believe the one that gave them the answer in deference to the opinion of another person's answer. So each have different answers in their own particular individual minds that they believe, but the belief came from a source inside of each person. And the source of the answer that came forth from out of the cloud of unknowing is I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, the source of the answer is not obviously what they believe, but I was just going to say it's common to all men. So I think that we have a lot in common with each other. And we can have respect for one another. I know we often argue about what's right, who's right, and who's wrong. And be each fully persuaded in our own minds. I mean, the Bible actually says that. You know, if you esteem one day above another, be persuaded in your own mind. But we have a way of arguing and a way of debating. Even many times what isn't debatable. And happy is he who can agree with his adversary along the way and find a place that they can both find peace and happiness and shelter in accepting the thoughts of others as just thoughts, nothing harmful. I know that's quite new, or not new, but there's the idea of wanting to debate. So that was just something I just wanted to share. And again, I mean, it's so fascinating how we have these thoughts and these questions in our mind. I was just inspired by some other thought. It was interesting, when the children of Israel were wandering around the wilderness, there was the manna that rained down from heaven. Well, it was just the white colander, if I remember correctly, the stuff that appeared when they woke. They woke up, they went to sleep, woke up, and it was on the ground. It was like all around them. They could pick it and eat it and chew it and feed upon it. And then they named it. It was manna. And it even says in the Bible, it tells you what that means, which is really pretty interesting by itself. I think it's important, for one, that it tells you the definition of manna, which is what is it? And that question right there, that question, I've asked 1 billion times in my life. What is it? What is it? Take for instance, what is it? What is it? I'm going to take the liberty of thinking for others here, as they, anyone might be listening to what I'm even saying. They're like, what is it? What's he saying? And and you chew upon it, and you try to see if there's any good in it for the soul food. right? And I think that, as we do, we're eating on God. I mean, we're chewing upon him. I mean, this is the, this was, Jesus says he was the manna. I mean, he came down from heaven, or this is what we ate in the wilderness. And this goes back to what I was saying. I think that even those who to say they don't believe, they believe they don't believe, right? So if you believe you don't believe, then you believe something. You believe what you believe, be it that it not be what another person believes. And I think they're correct. You believe not what another person believes, but you still believe in that, in the answer that you have in the question of what is truth. What's the way, the truth, and the life? And we give testimony of it. Be it, even if it be negatory, and I use the word negatory because I don't believe that it is negatory. I believe that a negative is a positive when it's viewed in its proper aspect in and of itself as a positive affirmation of what we believe. Be it if it says we don't believe. You don't believe what? If you say you don't believe something, then that means you believe in something else that you don't believe something. And it's like right there in front of our face, logically staring right at us, that even the agnostic, the self-confessed agnostic, or self-confessed atheist, I might be, let's say that one says, I am a believer, and they say they are a non-believer. Well, you know what? That makes me a non-believer of what they believe. Correct? So each is correct from your relative position and the truth that you occupy, the hill that you stand on, the place where you abide in the great cloud, or not the great cloud, but on the to the unknown God. And even to say he's unknown is to say he's unknown. So we betray ourselves, or we betray him once we say he's not unknown. And then we have just like the whole. We don't have the essence of his presence inside us. We fail to maintain that tension between the known and the known and the unknown. No, not the known and the unknown, but the here and there, the now, the thing that is because it is not. That right there, whatever that philosophical term is, I don't know what it is. I don't know, and I was going to say I don't care to know. I do care to know, but I want to continuously maintain that tension, whereby I am always intrigued. I'm always interested. I'm following hard after God. I pursue God, having not found him. And having not found him, I was going to say that's like finding him, but it's not. That's not true. It would be like that. That would be the reason for life. I heard the other day, the purpose of life is learning. Well, or it's living and discovery. And to keep asking that question, what is it? I think it just is that right there which feasts upon the God of unknowing, that maintains a personal, can't say happiness, but at least it gets my mind off of the things of the world and detaches me from those things which seemed relevant but are no longer relevant, and I could put them under the cloud of forgetting so that I can pursue my God. He like follows after him. It's like, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. We will wrestle. We will continue to wrestle. Now, here's something interesting, is that God actually desires that. Good. And, it's fantastic to be able to wrestle for God, even as God would wrestle. Sometimes I think we got the roles reversed here. We're wrestling ourselves. But wrestling, I'm pretty sure, I'm just going to use other people to reflect, to see myself. And the opinion of some is like, wow, you just make, that's just too hard. You're making this a lot harder than it needs to be. And I was like, cool, fine. You have fun with whatever you should do and be happy and content. I hope, others enjoy the idea, the concept of keeping God as a great unknown, and to appreciate the fact that they too have the same God of the unknown God, and that no matter how much we know, he's still there. There is the unknown, and that's I was going to say that's great, but we know him. I was going to say, and not knowing ourselves, not knowing, not knowing him. Well, I don't know about what I just said. I really don't. And I don't want to make any theology. I don't want to build or make anything up. I just want to experience it. And by experiencing it, I want to live it out. I want to hash it out. I want to live it out to really enjoy it. This is this is like the best of wine. You save the older wine gets, the better it gets, and later here in life, if it is later in life, I'm not sure. But here, as of late, I should say, these, a lot of what I used to believe have kind of evolved or become and transformed themselves into deeper. And I'm going to stop, because I used the word deeper, and I don't like that. I really don't like that term, because it's like, it's sort of like accomplishment, or something to be boastful of. And I think that that's the wrong direction to even think of myself as like, because what may be considered deeper really is not deeper from God's point of view. It's just better not to be wise or not to be too wise, right? It really is. It's just better to be I think it's, quite frankly, it's better to be rationally ignorant at times. You just save yourself from a lot of, not necessarily grief, but you have so many benefits already. There's no need whatsoever to dig deeper. But unless Oh, wow. Life has become dry. Excuse me, yeah. That was interesting. Big ugly spider was on my leg all of a sudden from nowhere. So, yeah, it's just something to think about. Share a little bit about the scenery. To where you are, sitting around top of some hills here. My little chair I built. Put some strings up and got me a lawn chair. Hooked it up. Got kitty cat there. And just sitting out here contemplative. But there's a better thing than to contemplate all the time, and that's to be an actor. Many times, because a contemplative lifestyle, as it produces a lot of fruit, is useless or can spoil if we withhold it. And that's I say that's actually the reason that I'm recording right now. Normally, I keep things very private. But it's also when I do that. Oh, there's that spider right there. What is that sucker? Came back. I thought I brushed it off of me. I don't know what it looks like. It's about to take a chunk. I better get it off of me, you think? I don't know. Let's see if I can't get it. Oh, it dropped on its own. Oh, there goes the web. Oh, it's hooked up to me. I don't know if you've seen all that. But there it goes. Booking on the rock. Okay, buddy. Get off. There you go. Maybe it'll come back. I don't know. Great cloud of unknowing. What is it, What's it going to do? What's going to happen next? The unknown God. The God of the unknown. Wow, how awesome he is. So the thoughts as of recently, I just want to capture for posterity's sake. And just wonder. Keep the wonder alive. Keep it fresh. Stir it up. Make it, don't be old. Don't be old. Be new. Explore. Theological constructs. Ideals. Try something new. Don't be afraid. Fear not. For the Lord thy God, he's with thee. He goes with you where you would go. In fact, he leads the way. Go. Follow him in all you say and all you do. And may all your ways be prosperous along the way. May the life you experience be greening, be coming to life, have the life vitality or essence and all around you, that we may see that this is God. Yes, this. Be him in all we say and do. All are in him, and he is one and all. As abstract as that seemed to me right now, it's like I had to remember, what were those words? It's like kind of really putting a lot of pressure to memorize some of the catechisms there. So, but anyways, they're useful. Kind of keep us between the tracks, or keep us on the road many a times. What a great trip it's been now. What a great road. What a great path. What a great way. Who would have thought? Or thunk? Who would have thunk? Here we are today, and all we say and pray. Life is a prayer. Every thought, every word is a communion with someone. And I could leave it there. But it's with someone, always. Who are we talking to? That's the question. What's his name? I want to know it. I want to know it. And God forbid that God should get in my way to keep me from searching after him. And with those magic words we always say at the end of every prayer, in Jesus' name, amen.